Governor DeSantis says Florida's booming, but Broward County is burning. 7,272 homes in foreclosure. Sales tumbling 7.1% year over year. Properties languishing 97 days before finding buyers. Triple the pandemic pace. He'd sold Broward as the blueprint for prosperity, proof that his vision worked. But when foreclosure notices flooded mailboxes and transactions ground to a halt, everything unraveled. One family purchased at $650,000 in 2021, banking on continued appreciation. They listed at $640,000. No interest. Price dropped to $599,000. Still nothing. Finally accepted $585,000. Hemorrhaging equity before agent fees and transaction costs destroyed what remained. That's not a correction. That's devastation. Everything he promised, it's unraveling in real time. Broward County held a special place in Florida's growth narrative. While Miami chased billionaires and Palm Beach catered to old money, Broward promised something attainable. From 2021 through 2024, families poured in by the thousands. Fort Lauderdale became a magnet. Hollywood and Pembroke Pines absorbed waves of relocators seeking sunshine without breaking the bank. The numbers painted optimism. Fort Lauderdale's median crept toward $480,000 by summer 2022. Throughout the county, 34,152 residential transactions closed over 12 months. In January alone, $962 million changed hands, enough to buy 2 private islands in the Caribbean. The high end exploded. Million-dollar-plus condo deals surged 79%. Cash remained king, with 36.8% of every purchase requiring zero financing. Momentum appeared bulletproof. Single-family transactions generated $678 million, up 21.54% from the prior year. Construction crews worked overtime. Permits multiplied. Broward seemed unstoppable. A Fort Lauderdale agent remembers the frenzy clearly. We had bidding wars on Tuesday. Properties sold by Thursday. Buyers begged to overpay just to secure something. And the worst part? The collapse was engineered by design. Broward wasn't supposed to fail. But warning signs flickered beneath the celebration. Activity began slowing. By August 2025, completed deals had fallen 7.1% compared to last August. June delivered only 93 closings, cratering 23.6% from May's pace. Single-family completions dropped 6.72%. Condo transactions sank 7.41% despite luxury strength. Homes that moved within weeks now required 97 days on average during August, stretched from 76 days the previous summer. That's a 27% increase in market time, the housing equivalent of watching water freeze in slow motion. Supply ballooned out of control. By mid-year, Broward carried over 12,000 active listings, with certain tallies pushing towards 16,000. Fresh construction sat empty. Established condo buildings in Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood collected dust. June inventory climbed 7.9% in just 30 days, drowning a market built on scarcity. 2 markets emerged. Ultra-premium properties still attracted wealthy foreigners. Latin American capital flowed in as cash. Everything beneath that tier struggled. June's median landed at $457,184, barely 5.1% higher than last year. But sellers accepted only 95% of asking price on average. Condos fared worse. 76% traded below list. Only 7% exceeded asking. But underneath the champagne toasts, the foundation was cracking. DeSantis used Broward as his talking point. He celebrated luxury momentum and all-cash strength, but everyday workers vanished from the equation. Educators, medical staff, and public servants systematically priced into oblivion. The communities they sustained were being replaced by money that now hesitated. Then August 2025 arrived. Fort Lauderdale listings began lingering 123 days, double pandemic velocity. Some neighborhoods watched properties age 6 months without activity. Broward's famous market speed vanished completely. Financially capable buyers asked themselves a devastating question: why hurry? Waiting delivers better prices. And sellers? They started accepting the unthinkable. June inventory told the story in brutal clarity. Single-family homes sat at 95% of asking. Condos? 76% sold below list. That's fire sale territory. The market language for panic. Broward's median household income hovers around $70,000. theoretically supporting homes to $325,000. But with median pricing at $457,184, qualification became impossible. Lenders raised barriers, down payment requirements climbed, transactions died in underwriting. Mortgage rates hovering near 6.7% eliminated remaining buyers. A $500,000 loan at 6.5% demands $3,160 monthly, excluding taxes and insurance. 2 years prior, at 3%, identical financing cost $2,100. That $1,050 monthly gap locked out thousands. The price of a decent used car payment every single month, just for the rate difference. Here's what Dantas never told you. Broward's collapse wasn't accidental. It was systemic, and foreclosures are just the beginning. 7,272 homes. That's not a statistic. That's devastation. 7,272 residential properties currently face foreclosure proceedings across Broward County. April 2025 alone brought 342 new filings, with 250 lenders initiating action and 16 homes seized. The county inventory includes 76 bank-owned properties and 306 homes scheduled for courthouse auctions. These figures represent real families who wagered everything on homes purchased in 2021 and 2022, banking on continued appreciation. Pre-foreclosure listings comprise 15% of all residential inventory countywide. Pembroke Pines leads with 676 properties teetering on the edge. Estimated valuations for pre-foreclosure homes range wildly, from $2,027 million in Plantation down to $336,666 in Fort Lauderdale. The crisis doesn't discriminate by price point. Fort Lauderdale showcases the wreckage most clearly. 8% of local owners carry mortgages exceeding current home values, underwater, before they even open the envelope. James Thompson purchased a condo in Pembroke Pines for $520,000 in 2022. February 2025 brought a $68,000 special assessment demand. Monthly HOA fees exploded from $580 to $840. He cannot cover either. Broward seemed bulletproof, he says. Now, we're sinking. And this is just the first wave. Coastal zones suffered the worst. Zip codes 33301 and 333 covering Las Olas Isles through Harbor Beach saw 22% of residents lose private coverage within 12 months. Longtime homeowners face forced liquidations. Climate projections worsen the outlook. 26% of Broward's entire housing stock will confront severe flooding within 30 years. 100% faces extreme hurricane wind exposure. The foreclosure surge is only beginning. Projections suggest doubling by spring 2026 as adjustable mortgages reset and reserves deplete. Agents describe frozen markets, weekly showing counts plummet. A Fort Lauderdale veteran states plainly, bidding wars became ghost towns. Nobody wants to buy something still falling. The same governor who called Broward his blueprint for prosperity, he's now watching it burn and refusing to admit he lit the match. Everything beneath the luxury tier, where working families actually live, is collapsing. The educators, the nurses, the firefighters, they're being systematically erased from the county they built. And Dantas? He's still celebrating all-cash foreign buyers while American families lose everything. But foreclosures aren't even the deadliest blow. By mid-2025, Broward County's annual premiums averaged $6,191, climbing 31% or $1,789 since March 2022. That's more than twice the national benchmark. Waterfront properties command $10,000 plus quotes. Some Hollywood households pay $19,000 yearly combining homeowners and flood policies. That's $19,000 in insurance alone, enough to lease a luxury sedan every single year, forever. 6 major carriers collapsed statewide from 2022 through 2025. Citizens Property Insurance became the default. By 2025, Citizens insured over 1.3 million Florida policies, with Broward contributing massive volume. And for coastal homeowners, it's already over. Insurance kills deals. Families budgeting $4,000 annually receive $9,000 quotes. Lenders require paid-in-full proof before releasing funds. Fort Lauderdale transactions collapse weekly over coverage failures. Non-renewal rates for waterfront properties hit 21% in 2024 versus 8% inland. Flood coverage adds crushing expenses. FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0 triggered overnight premium increases. A $200 annual policy became $2,000 in some zones. A Hallandale Beach retiree's combined insurance bill reached $20,000, impossible on a fixed income. After their carrier dropped them following a minor roof claim, only Citizens remained, charging nearly double. She opens the envelope, stares at the number. I was paying $200 2 years ago. Now it's $20,000? I can't eat insurance. The insurance catastrophe spirals endlessly. Premiums rise, buyers disappear. Markets sink lower. It's a death loop with no exit. Then Florida added the final nail. Post-Surfside, Florida mandated structural integrity assessments for any building 30-plus years old. Deadline approaching, December 31st, 2025. Associations scrambled. Cost devastated residents. Surprise bills arrived demanding $50,000 to $100,000 per unit. HOA monthly dues jumped 15% to 20% throughout the county. Retirement savings? Wiped out in a single envelope. Retirees on fixed budgets face impossible choices. A 68-year-old Hollywood resident opens an envelope. They're demanding $75,000 within 90 days. I'm finished. Reserve requirements triggered panic selling. Owners list desperately to escape looming assessments, but buyers refuse older buildings entirely. Financing evaporated. Across Broward, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach, only 21 buildings qualify for FHA backing. From over 2,300 eligible structures, approval rates collapsed. Older condo values imploded. Units selling at $400,000 in 2023 now list at $280,000 without attracting offers. Monthly price reductions became routine. Townhomes and condos entered textbook buyers' markets with supply overwhelming all demand. They survived the market crash, the hurricanes, even COVID. A building inspection killed them. Human costs mount everywhere. Board leaders face litigation threats. Owners sue buildings, alleging corruption and incompetence. The legal fees alone bankrupt associations barely holding on. Then came the press conference. Governor Dantis stood before journalists in Fort Lauderdale, voice unsteady. Questions hammered him. 7,272 foreclosures, 7.1% sales decline, 97-day market times. How would Florida rescue families losing everything? What solutions existed for the insurance nightmare strangling transactions? He deflected badly, blamed federal interference for carrier departures, claimed reforms were succeeding without supporting data. Confronted with foreclosure waves, he dismissed concerns as normal market adjustments and attacked questioners for spreading hysteria. Emergency proposals followed. Foreclosure freezes, insurance assistance programs, tax holidays. Lawmakers rejected everything within hours. State coffers were empty. Political appetite had evaporated. Cameras caught it all, and what they saw? Pure panic. The entire spectacle aired live. Cameras documented everything. Shaking hands, defensive body language, mounting panic as Broward's implosion destroyed his carefully constructed story. In back rooms, staff searched desperately for solutions, but every path led nowhere. A man watching his legacy collapse in real time, unable to stop it. Behind every statistic, a family drowning. Main streets empty out. Las Olas Boulevard, Hollywood Beach. Formerly packed corridors now echo. Pedestrian traffic fell 25%. Dining establishments reduce hours. Storefronts shutter. The seasonal influx that sustained local commerce stays away, frightened by foreclosure coverage. Real estate professionals who prospered now scramble. Commission income evaporated. One Hollywood agent explains, multiple offers disappeared overnight, clients panic, some forfeit $30,000 deposits rather than complete purchases. That's how scared they are. Remaining residents face constant uncertainty. Homeowners weigh accepting losses against enduring the crisis. Business owners calculate survival odds. Broward's promise, reliable growth and security, transformed into widespread anxiety. This isn't a correction, it's a purge. Trade organizations repeat temporary adjustment messaging, but 7.1% sales contraction, 7,272 foreclosures, 97-day listing periods. This isn't an adjustment, it's systematic failure. Some highlight luxury activity as evidence of health. For typical residents, that's meaningless. The crisis concentrates where working people live, Industry messaging diverges increasingly from ground truth. Privately, agents acknowledge reality. Broward cannot be saved. So what comes next? Buyers will return only after foreclosures clear. But the wave is cresting now. Self-reinforcing collapse continues. What comes next depends on external forces. Insurance markets must stabilize, interest rates must retreat. Foreclosure inventory must flush through the system. Optimists see potential if reforms succeed. Realists warn fundamental transformation has occurred. The county may stabilize far below recent peaks, stranding thousands in negative equity. The projected spring 2026 foreclosure acceleration could deepen the spiral. And if insurance doesn't stabilize, Florida becomes uninvestable. The psychological damage alone would confirm that no Florida market offers guaranteed safety. 26% of Broward's entire housing stock faces severe flooding within 30 years. 100% faces extreme hurricane wind exposure. 2025 finds Broward County in complete disarray. 7,272 foreclosures active. 342 at April filings alone. 7.1% sales contraction. 97-day average market time. $6,291 annual insurance average. Condo transactions down 7.51%. Could your neighborhood be next? Subscribe so you don't miss the next shocking chapter.